What is up, man? It is your boy Alexander Michaelides, and I'm here with
Ealef Cuts.
Yes, sir, and welcome to episode 20?
We're episode 20.
Episode 20, and we have a very, very special guest in the building. We'll take the record for our tallest guest probably thus far, but
to date,
man, it is actually, if you know who this guy is, Harry Beauchamp. How you doing, bro?
Yeah, good, man. Real good. Doing good.
Doing well. You want to tell the people a little bit about yourself, how old you are, and kind of, gist?
Man, I'm 18, baller, played under 17 Oz squad, captained that team, played Vic Metro 4 times now, won gold medal 4 times at the national championship level. Yeah, man, just a baller.
There's some stats.
So nonchalant. I'm just looking at Ealef. He's like, oh. I'm like, yeah, bro, when he walked in, like, if you know who this guy is, bro, we got a lot to touch on today, and I'm super excited to kind of talk about the journey, talk about your development as a teenager into a young man and kind of what's on the horizon. But without further ado, Ealef, if you want to kick us off.
Yeah, for sure. So being in the barbershop setting, one question that we want to ask you is, what is your craziest or wildest or weirdest barbershop experience you've had to date?
Oh, man,
there's always too many.
Oh, when I was about, I'd say 14, Mum didn't like the mullet, but she finally let me get one. And so I went to the barber and I was like, oh, yeah, can I get a mullet? You end up shaving off the back, and so I had to get a buzz cut. So I ended up crying and go home to Mum. Yeah, so
I'm doing the same thing. Were your instructions like not clear, or did you just?
I don't know. I said, "Can I get a mullet?" And he was like,
"He's like, yeah, sweet."
And just went straight off the back, and I was like, "Oh,
that's too crazy."
I asked Ealef this the other day. I'm like, bro, like, do you ever get like compulsive urges to just shave clients' heads? So I reckon your barber just
like all the time. Yeah, that has to be a universal thing. It can't just be me. Like, I'll just be cutting people, and then like for a piss take, I'll be like, "Oh, you want to do a buzz cut?" And then they're like, no, bro. And in my head, I'm just like, bro, I just want to chop it all.
It wasn't fun. I'll say that much. I was so excited to get mullet.
Bro, you're 14. He was just like, no, I'm going to do what I want, bro.
Yeah, he was like, fuck you.
Shit, so what? You reckon mullets have been around for like 5 years now? Because what, you're 18 now? 14, it's like 4 years?
Yeah, man, they've been around for ages.
And you went to Marston, bro. Like, so did I. That school was like mullets, the middle part tucked behind the ears.
Mullets everywhere. It was just like, wow. Usually there was a mullet, middle part, or tucked behind. That's it.
Literally.
Nothing else.
That's kind of whack.
Bro, I got like curly ass hair, and I'd try and tuck it behind my ear. And
no,
like,
you didn't.
Yeah, I did, bro. Yeah, it was bad. Never worked.
Curls tucked behind the ears,
bro, it was horrible.
Nuts, bro. I gotta get a photo of that. Do you remember Ealef in high school? Or nah, you would have been too.
Nah,
maybe a bit older.
Yeah, when did you graduate?
2020.
Nah, man, don't remember. I don't really remember much from year 7.
Yeah,
that's sad.
Fair enough, bro. But we'll kick off into it, bro. So obviously, as you said, your list of accolades goes on, and obviously representing your state, but more importantly, bro, representing your country is such a big feat that hoopers, athletes, whatever you're in, whatever sport you're in, you dream of, bro. So kind of, when did you start hooping, getting into it, and did you honestly think that, as a, however old you may be, 7, 8 years old, that like your goal was to represent your country?
Nah, so I started hooping when I was in year 2, so it would have been like, I don't know, 8, 6, maybe 6 to 8, that kind of mark. I just liked it because it was fun, but I always played with like the older guys. So I played with kids in 2 years level above me. No, I didn't realize that, basketball would take me on such a crazy journey to where I am now, about to go to college and stuff like that.
When was that moment, I guess? For some people, they have that one defining moment. For some, it's just a gradual growth. But when was that for you that you realized, like, damn, like, this could really be something for me?
So it was 16's bottom age. So in basketball, you have, like, top age, bottom age. I made the state team bottom age as a 14-year-old in 16s. And that's when I was like, oh, like, I'm actually somewhat decent. So, yeah, I just stuck with it, started to work real hard, and then, yeah.
What was that recognition like to make that state squad as a bottom major, bro? Because I tell all my youngins, like, you got to just put your head down and work, and especially in your bottom age year, bro, is like, that's pretty incredible, bro. So what was that kind of feeling like, and did you think your game evolved after that, after getting that kind of like confidence within yourself?
I mean, I'll never forget Mum's face, because like when you get picked for a state team, they tell the parents first, so they take all the parents out into another room, this was 16s. They take all the parents out to another room. They tell the parents. They shut all the doors. They come out. They sit you down. They read the names out who made the team. So it's pretty brutal, man. It's pretty brutal. Like they're just straight into it. But I'll never forget, Mum. Like I made the team, and Mum ran out crying because she was so proud of me. So that was probably my turning point then, where I was like, yeah, I can really do it. But yeah, no, man, the work from then has been pretty crazy. We've just been head down, working hard, trying to get better.
Talking about, your mum being that, I guess, that figure for you that you want to make proud. Is she, I guess, the most prominent supporting figure in your life, or who else has been around to give you that extra kick and to be someone that you want to do it for?
Well, mum was a big time netballer. She represented Australia, so she's also always been a big supporter of me. Just she understands the athlete kind of thing. But Dad's always there. Like Dad's always good to rebound stuff off because he's just a big straight up dude. Nothing really phases him. But the other one is probably my grandpa, Opa. He watches every one of my games. Even if he can't be there, he'll watch it on TV. But also at the end of the day, it's up to you.
Sure.
Like, it's you or nothing.
What keeps your head strong, bro? Being at such a high level, especially at such a young age, bro, it gets to a lot of kids, man. Like, any sport, soccer, basketball, footy, they get to that, 15, 16, 17, they're like, nah, I'd just rather party. I'd rather go out. What keeps you in that, bro?
Well, I've always had a thing for working hard. I kind of always found, that parties were fun, but they weren't my type of fun. Like I love to sweat, train till I throw up. It sounds weird, but man, it's fun to me. Yeah, man, just working hard for me is just my type of thing.
Do you think that work ethic is something you're born with or you learn?
I think it's something you learn. Yeah, it's something you earn.
How do you think you kind of developed your work ethic, bro? Because it's easier said than done, but obviously you put in the work to get to where you are.
I don't know. It kind of just happens, I guess. Like that 16s bottom age, I was more of a big man. Like I was a 4-man power forward.
Yeah.
And that was just for that year. And the year after, that's when I started to really accelerate. And then I started to become a wing. So I needed to put some work in to change. Otherwise, I wouldn't have got where I was.
Yeah, bro. Adapt or die, bro. Like that's insane. Like if you're not able to adapt, especially with basketball, bro, with the way it's going, and like I think I speak from experience. Like kids are way more skilled now. Like
oh man, they're completely different. They're bigger. They're more athletic, but a lot of them are lazy.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like so many young athletes I see, I was like, bro, I was never doing this at your age. Like I was fucking fundamental right, left, layup, bro. They're freaking doing all crazy. I'm like, bro, how? But they lack that work ethic, bro. They think it's kind of handed to them on a silver spoon, bro. So the fact that you possess that is going to take you so far in your career, bro. And what else do you think is a weak spot in kind of the younger generation kind of coming up?
I think they're working on the wrong things. Like if I take, I go to BSC, Burundara Sports Complex just to get some shots up. And like I walk in there, I see all these people doing all these like dribble moves and stuff like that, where I just think they have to keep it simple. Like, man, if you can shoot the ball, you can dribble, you don't turn the ball over, man. You can literally go wherever you want. They just got to keep it simple. Like they're doing all these moves into different type of finishes, and just keep it simple.
And what do you think that's a result of? Do you think that's maybe what, I guess, they're seeing online, they're seeing in the NBA? What do you think it is?
Mixtape culture, bro, I reckon.
Yeah, I think it's more kind of what they're seeing online. Like, my Instagram feed's full of basketball. Like, but I know what I'm good at. Like, I already found my strengths. I've still got stuff I'm working on. So I just try and keep getting better at them.
Definitely, bro. Because, like, I feel like nowadays kids are doing it for the highlight.
Yep.
Like, you got, like, 75 different people with a camera now coming to games and sitting and recording, and they're more worried about getting clips than, like, effectiveness and just, like you said, bro, not turning over the rock, hitting open shots, but instead they're trying to do too much, bro. Like, how come you never felt like you became victim to that mixtape highlight culture? Because you're still pretty young, man. Like, it was kind of popping when you were doing your thing.
Well, I know I've never been super flashy with my game. Like, I've been called, typical white boy basketball a lot. But I'm okay with that because it's effective, it works. But I've always wanted to try and be a highlight player, but as I got older and, I played more basketball, I realized that it's just not about the highlights. It's actually about what you can do with the ball.
It's totally fair. We spoke about work ethic a lot. Do you think that work ethic is probably the most important thing to get you to where you are, or do you think there's something else, other characteristics of your game and of your head as well that help you get there?
That's a good question.
Well, I think if you love the game, you'll work for it. Like, if you really, truly love basketball, you'll work for it. But the other one that's big for me is discipline.
Yep.
Like, don't miss a day. Doesn't matter even if you go shoot 50 shots or, I don't know, just dribble a basketball for 30 minutes. Don't miss a day. Touch a basketball whenever you can and just have fun with it, man.
What is a week in the life or a day in the life look like, or some of your schedule in terms of obviously, shooting, strength and conditioning? Like, what does it look like, bro?
Right now, we're in off season, but I'm also come back from an injury. I got a little tear in my shoulder, so it's been about a month and it's almost 2 months next week. So I'm starting to introduce contact back again in the off season. But a typical week is, I try and go shoot 2 times a day. If not, I'll be getting, 300 makes up in a day. So it's either morning I'll go shoot free throws or something. In the afternoon, I'll hit the weight room. At night, I'll either have training or I'll just go work out with a coach. But I usually hit gym, once every second day. And then so if it's like a Monday, I'll hit the gym. Tuesday, I'll either try and do like a run or something.
Bro, and that's what I'm telling like the young guys, like, coach, bro. Like, if you really love it, you need to be prepared to do 2 days, 3 days. Like, it's not just go to the gym, work really hard for an hour, run around, and I'm good. Like,
and then eat KFC all day.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah,
like,
man.
it's a lifestyle, bro. Like, obviously, I can't speak for you, but surely every day you don't feel like doing it.
Nah,
every
man.
session.
Sometimes I wake up and I'm like, I want to stay in bed. I want to sit on my phone. Not even at night. Like, I want to just scroll on TikTok, but I need sleep. Sleep's the most important recovery. And like, it sucks sometimes, but that's kind of a sacrifice you have to make.
So you mentioned your injury, bro. Is that how has that whole sort of period been for you, man?
At first, man, it was tough. They said they had me worried. They said I had to get surgery, which I was going to be put out for 6 months. So in the scheme of plans for the year, that means I would have had to reclass and go to college next year. But I got good news. It said I don't have to have surgery, just got to rehab it. I'm allowed to play basketball, do all skills stuff, shoot. I'm allowed to play golf, which is something I like to do, which is kind of like a fallback for me, kind of take my mind off basketball. Yep. So at first it was tough, man. Injuries suck. They really do. They suck. But nah, I'm better now. I'm back to my routine.
Was this your first kind of injury, or you dealt with other ones?
So I actually had one earlier in the year during the World Cup. I had a hot spot in the back of my knee, which means it's like I lost a bit of cartilage, so I was just getting really sore and stuff like that. Did my ankle, fractured it, did ligaments, have a medial strain. Yeah.
How do you bounce back, bro? How do you deal with it, and how do you like separate yourself from being just more than a hooper, right? Because sometimes when athletes get injured, it's like my whole world's taken away, because the thing that my identity in a sense is like, fuck, what do I do now? So how do you kind of deal with that, bro?
Man, you just gotta hit rehab hard. Like, it will suck. Like, I'm a competitive beast. Like, I hate watching training. I hate just being there. Like, I have to do something. It's like at training, if they're scrimmaging, I'll have to go shoot. Otherwise, I need to punch something or something. But you just got to come back. Like, you just got to have that mentality that, like, hit rehab hard, then you'll be back as soon as you can.
So having been through, I guess, a series of injuries that you've mentioned, what keeps you still in it, man? Because there's a lot of young players out there and older players where they get injury and then another one. And then that third one, they're like, nah, that's it. What keeps you to say, nah, man, I've got that goal in the end. I want to reach that.
I think it's...
And it may not even be an injury. It can even be a setback of any sort.
I think it's the little kid in me. Mm-hmm. He always wanted to play big time in any sport, either the NBA, AFL, or even cricket. But no, it also always comes back to just how you love the game. If you love the game, the game will give back to you.
Is that something that you've grown to love? Or is that something that you've always sort of had?
Nah, I've grown to love the game. Yeah. At first, It wasn't very kind to me. I kind of speak as a person. It wasn't very kind, you know. I almost picked footy at one stage, but no, I stuck with it, and you know, I'm here now.
What made you pick basketball over footy?
That was kind of like the starting point where I started to, you know, see the difference between me and some of the other guys.
Yeah.
That's when I started to like really kind of, you know, like, oh, this is actually like really fun. You know, I love it. And I started to peak and play well and get some recognition, and then, you know, led into my bottom age year at state. Between
the two sports, basketball and footy, how do you think the coaches differ? Because I think we're very, very lucky in Victoria. I think we're the best basketball state in the country by far.
We are, by far.
Like, it's not even, it's not even discussion, right? Like, how do you think the coaches are kind of in the state?
In footy?
The difference between like footy and basketball.
Well, so I've had a lot of mates be drafted. Like, I had a mate earlier this year be drafted to West Coast.
Yep.
And the footy aspect, which is why I think I'm kind of successful, is because you have to be able to read patterns in the game. Whereas basketball is kind of condensed. You know, there's a lot of things going on. So they're kind of similar. Like, you know, footy coaches will go pick basketball coaches' brain. You know, about zones and, you know, man-to-man stuff like that, different things. So I do think they're a little bit similar. It's just like the different running patterns, the way you play, because, you know, we run sets. You know, they don't really run sets. They just have like a base of components that they do, and they have to tick them off. So they're similar, but not similar at the same time.
Yeah, I get that.
What have the coaches in the basketball world been like for you, bro? Have you had some real influential mentors in your life?
Oh man, I wouldn't be here without them. I've been super, super lucky from when I started. The first ever coach that really, you know, saw something in me was back in 12-1s at Hawthorn Magic. His name was Michael Vine, and we called him Tweety Bird. He was a little angry man. He had a Tweety Bird tattooed on his ankle. So he's called Tweety Bird. The other one was Dion Jewell. I still train with him to this day.
Yeah, wow.
I love him. He's a really good dude. And then another two, you know, that I've had lucky is he just went to the assistant of the Jack Jumpers.
Oh, yeah, wow, dope.
Jack Fleming.
Yeah.
He's a good dude, real good coach. And the other one's big one is Scotty Christensen.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's one of my big mentors. He's, you know, he helps me out quite a lot with stuff.
So what separates them from the rest, bro? What makes a good coach from a great coach?
It's a great question, yeah.
They put time into you. They genuinely care about you on and off the court. Like, they want you to succeed. They'll put you in positions to succeed. But they also lay you out of love. You know, they'll give it to you. They won't hold back. Which is kind of why I think, you know, I am where I am. Without those guys' tough love, I wouldn't be here.
But also that's like a credit to you, bro, because not all people can deal with tough love, bro. Like I could imagine some of your practices be pretty intense and
yeah. So I train with United, and Dean Vickerman, like, he's probably the best coach that I've seen or been a part of. And when he laces out, but they all know that it's, you know, part of it, and it's because he loves them.
Yeah.
Like, that's a big thing in basketball. One of the big dudes that I've genuinely be scared was when I was at the COE at an Oz camp.
Yeah.
His name's Robbie McKinley. He's the head of the COE. Like, when that man laces someone out, man, wow, that shit is scary as. It generally, he made someone leave the gym. That was crazy.
That's nuts, bro.
While we're on the topic of coaching, I want to talk about, so AJ, recently with Calm Youth, they've started up Calm Sport, which is coming into effect real soon. Him, Mike, and the rest are getting that happening. So AJ, you can talk a little bit about that, but I want you, Harry, to give AJ a little bit of advice, a little bit of insight for what he can do for players in this Calm Sport. I'll let AJ take it away.
Yeah, bro. So, like, I'll explain it, man. So, like, the biggest thing we found as an athlete myself is, right, they don't know how to deal with the mental and emotional aspect of the game. Like, you can go to the court, you can work on your skills, you can work on drills, all good. But when you get injured or, you know, you're not playing, like, those little things, and you can't go to your parents because your parents had never played, right? Young athletes struggle with that. So we kind of built out, like, a virtual online program where we have, like, professional athletes and coaches as kind of like a resource and a guide to help young athletes deal with that. So it's messaging, it's weekly videos, it's things of that nature to kind of keep you locked in from someone who's not your coach and not your parent, but has, like, an independent impartial perspective on the situation. That kind of makes sense. So like,
Yeah.
you know, you're under 14s, you're not playing, you have no one to go to. Let me jump on the Calm Sport app and hit that up.
Yeah, man, that's sick. I'd say there's three things. You just, as an athlete, you just have to talk, man. You know, you got so much shit going on in your head. You know, you're not playing well. You know, not scoring enough, all that stuff. But you just got to talk to someone. Doesn't matter who. You could talk to a wall. For all that matters. Like, you know, sometimes I talk to my dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like, you just need to get it out. You just need to get it out. And the other thing is, if it's fun, basketball was a fallback for me. So like, you know, I'd just go up to whenever someone was doing something, you know, and I wouldn't get invited. I'd just go play basketball, man.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't think, you know, I'd work hard. It'd be a fallback. And yeah, those are probably the two main things. You just got to talk about it, like, and find a fallback. Find something else to do that takes your mind off basketball. Like, for example, I play golf now. That's kind of my type of thing. You know, it takes me away from everything. You know, I'm with my mates for like 4 hours of a day.
Yeah, dope. Just
playing
an outlet,
whacking a little ball. It's great fun.
So talking about that and finding a fullback, would you say ball is life?
Oh man, it is life. It's life. It is life.
You can tell with the way he talks, bro, the intensity and like
if it's
the conviction.
If it's not life, then you're not doing it.
But you're kind of like all in and not in at all kind of guy. Yeah, you're just fucking.
That's how you have to be good though. That's
Bro,
how you have to be good to be great.
100%, bro. Like, and I feel like as well. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you just like, you're not looking left, you're not looking right, you're looking straight ahead, bro. You don't care about
like, everyone talks about a plan B. I don't want a plan B. I only want one plan. It's plan A.
And tell me your plan, bro. Spell out to me what plan A is as an 18-year-old sitting in the cut right now.
So at the moment, for about I'd say 7 more months, you know, I'm just training my ass off, trying to get better, quicker, stronger, you know, jump higher, because that's a big weakness of mine at the moment. And then in May, going on a little tour to the US for like three weeks. Playing in front of college scouts, hopefully get some more college offers. Then go on visits after that, and then hopefully pick a school, and then, you know, play NBL 1 for as long as I can, and then you're off to college, man.
And when you say more offers, you want to tell the people kind of where you sit at now with in terms of offers?
So I'm in talks with about 16, 17 schools. So it's pretty good, you know. It's kind of a weird period though, because it's a blackout period. Which is conference play. They're all focused on their team at the moment, because conference play is the most important. So I'm kind of in this weird period where you don't get a lot of like talks, but you just got to be patient.
And growing up, did you always like have a dream college that you wanted to go to, or a dream school? Or
oh man, it was Duke or UNC, you know, all the big schools. Come on, man. Who wouldn't want to go to those schools?
Culture would be pretty nuts. And then one other thing with the rise of the NBL in the last few years, which is making freaking headwaves across the world. I think one of the top 5 leagues in the world by far. Top three, potentially be NBA, EuroLeague, NBL, right? Like, and obviously it's Next Stars program, and you have a LaMelo come and all these guys in the States. But what made you want to still take the college route as opposed to the NBL route? Because obviously you tell me you're training with United, like you're shooing.
I always think college has fascinated me.
Yeah.
Like, I knew basketball would take me on a crazy journey to, you know, different countries and all that. Like, I've been all around the globe with basketball, which is pretty cool. I think it's something different. Like, I know I could stay here and, you know, start from the bottom, work as what they call a development player, and try and get a roster spot. I think I just want to go to college, man. Have fun at college, play ball, earn some money.
So talking about traveling the world with the sport. So last year you represented the country in the
World Cup.
What was that like, man? How old were you at that point?
I was 16, 17.
Did you captain that squad? Or?
Yeah, man, I was captain.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I thought. It's fucking crazy.
Tell me about that, bro.
It was good. So we were in Istanbul, Turkey. Nice spot. It's tough. It was man, it's 3 weeks of just straight locking in basketball. Like, we went up there, say a week and a half early. You know, we did a practice tournament. We were in the hotel for the whole. It was tough, man. That's just not for the week. That was tough. But no, it was best thing I've done. So much fun. I got to play against every different type of athlete you could think of. Played against some 6'8", 14-year-old from France. Probably the next Wembanyama or some shit.
Yeah.
Nah, man, that was probably the best basketball experience I've had.
If you had to pick 3 things, what were the most important things that you learned from that trip?
Ooh.
Put you on the spot, yeah.
Yeah, you did put me on the spot. I say just the way I use, my body and my strength in game, especially against like bigger defenders, how to get my shot off at different angles. Because you play against some big motherfuckers.
Yeah,
like they've got 6'8", but they got a 7'2" wingspan.
It's different.
And they've got like 40-inch verts. Like, the Boozer twin.
Yeah.
That motherfucker's massive. And he can jump out the gym. So it's probably just my body work is one. The speed of the game is so different. The speed of the game. Like, if I compare rep over here is shit, man.
Yeah, bro.
Rep sucks. But it doesn't get you prepared at all. The speed of the game was so different. And lastly, I'd say the difference between the Europeans, us, and the US is so different.
That's what I was about to talk about that next, bro. Like,
the Europeans, man, they're so like 1 action, 2 action, 3 action, so they're set based, like super, super strict on their sets. The Americans, man, they're run and jump. They'll dunk on you, steal the ball, do what they want.
Yeah.
We're kind of in the middle.
Yeah.
Which we need to pick one, in my opinion.
You reckon? We need to go down.
We need to pick one.
Do you think we're athletic enough to play like the States, or do you think
we're starting to get some freak athletes? There was like 2 kids in my team who were freak athletes, man. Like they were freaky. They were scary.
That's the next progression, bro. Like, you see these I see like young dudes, 13, 14, dunking. And I'm like, it could be like that, but I think EuroLeague's so fun to watch, though. Like, man, the European style of play, bro, is kind of beautiful.
Yeah, it's great. I love watching the EuroLeague. I'd rather watch the EuroLeague, college basketball, the NBL over the NBA.
Yeah, like, legitimately. Like, if you're a true hooper, that, like, I feel like that's a general consensus, bro.
Yeah, man, it's just so much fun.
Yeah, it is. And in terms of, like, goals, so obviously we talked about what you've done in college. Do you want to have, like, a 4-year career? You trying to go one and done? Like, so, what does that look further than college?
I'm kind of hoping to play, 1 really good year, 1 or 2 really good years, at the college. Hopefully transfer to a higher major school, like maybe play there for a year. Try my luck on the NBA. If I don't get that, either come back here, play NBL or EuroLeague, and yeah, if any chance happens in the NBA, I'll go to the NBA.
It's pretty dope.
What do you need to do to get there, bro? And I'm not talking about the real steps. I'm talking about in here, bro.
Yeah, I think I need to become more disciplined. There's some days where I'm like, I'll only go to shoot once. But, like, I know that there's kids in America that ain't doing that. Like, if I miss a day, man, I hate myself. Like, I always think, I kind of take a book out of Kobe's book. Like, he had a kill list of, like, the top 100. Whereas I, like, kind of, keep looking at all the Instagram posts of all the American dudes that I played and, where they're sitting. And I'm like, I'm coming.
How do you, you're saying like you're missing a day, you hate yourself, it's harsh. It's harsh. How do you find a balance? Is there a balance for you? Is that something maybe
it's something I've been working on a lot. Like, there were times where sometimes I was just like, running myself to the ground, and I just wasn't good. Like, so I think I'm more refreshed now. I was down the beach for like, I don't know, a week and a half, just chilling with mates, playing golf, having fun. I guess still did gym, ran, touched the ball when I could. But it's kind of just having a reset every now and then, finding places where you can either, go relax by the beach or something.
Sometimes you need that, bro, because when you pour everything out and your cup is empty and try and give more, bro, like, it's more damaging than beneficial.
It is, man. You give everything and then there's nothing left to give.
Exactly, bro. Like, the biggest asset in your life is you, bro, and your mental. Like, if your mental's good, you'll play well, easy. Like, that's all part of it, bro. So it's all about how you can protect that, how you can strengthen that, bro. So I feel like you learning these skills now is such a great trait, and you can back the last years of work, bro, because you've done it, and the proof is in the pudding, bro. You're scoring freaking 30 points on the World Cup stage, captaining a Crocs team, like playing state 4 or 5 years consistently, bro. Like, the work is there. Different if you weren't that. Right, if you're like, I almost made it, or I'm a development guy, but bro, like, you still doing it. So the fact that you're learning to have a balance, bro, is I think that's going to be such an evolution and next step in your game, bro, and in your space.
Yeah, man, it'll be good. It's just it comes back to loving the game and having a fallback, man. Just have a fallback. Find something you love outside of basketball. Doesn't matter if it's more family time, you know, another sport, whatever. Just find something.
How does family sort of squeeze into that life, you know, that balance?
Well, they also understand, you know, that they probably won't see me a lot. Like, you know, I'll either be at the gym hooping or, I don't know, somewhere. Like, now I got my license, I can go where I want. So good, man. But they understand that I'm an athlete, that I'm going to have ups and downs. You know, they're always there for me. That's what I come back to, you know, always having a chat. Just talk about it. You know, I'm working on it. I used to suck at it. Never used to chat to anything. I'd just bottle it up, and that would just tear me down, you know, on the court, all that stuff. But, nah, family's so important, man. They're my biggest supporters. It will be, and, yeah, they're one of the reasons I do it.
Where did you find that strength to be able to talk about shit? Because it's something that a lot of people struggle with.
Yeah, it's definitely not easy at all, man. But it's better out than in.
100%.
You know, you're gonna feel weird. It's gonna feel awkward. It's gonna feel like shit, really. But you just gotta talk about it. There was some time, like before, so about 6 months before the World Cup, I had a bit of a struggle with an ex-girlfriend of mine. And, you know, that put me in a bit of a hole for a month. And I put myself in a hole because, you know, my fallback was basketball and gym, and I would literally spend hours on hours in there and, you know, destroy my body. And, like, there was on a point where I just couldn't get out of bed for, like, 2 days. I was just, you know, I was in a hole, but you just got to start talking.
I feel like, man, like, kudos to you and your mentality, because, like, when you have that mindset of, like, well, I just got to do it. Like, it's just, there's no other option. Like, you don't really make excuses, like, whether you're in a hole or whether you're struggling or whether you, you know, really find it difficult to open up. You just look at yourself and go, I just got to do it, bro. What's it like having those difficult conversations with yourself that you know are ultimately going to lead to your betterment?
Well, that's the battle. It's the battle with yourself that's probably the most important. It's you against you. Like, you know, I listened to a lot of podcasts on mental health and, you know, mental mindset with, like, Goggins and Joe Rogan and, you know, Kobe, Jordan, all that. And at the end of the day, it's you. It's a choice. So it's either you make an excuse or you do it.
How do you find that mental health goes in the sports world, bro, in the basketball
Oh, man,
world?
I think it's more mental than the skills. I think it's, so I got a thing, well, basketball kind of does, it's 80% mental, 20% skill. 100%. Everything's more mental, man. It's a mental game. If you don't have a good mental space, then...
Exactly right, bro. And that's why we're trying to bridge the gap with these young players, man. Like, I've seen such skill and such everything, bro. But that mental isn't there. It's next level, bro. And it's it's really, really interesting to see, like, the world class players and the guys of your stature playing at your level agree and think the same thing, right? So, like, within the state space and the Oz space, like, do they provide any resources or support or help with the mental element, or is it still really on, like, just the X's and O's, the books, and the strength and conditioning?
They do a little bit with, like, the mental health stuff. They definitely do in the big leagues like the NBL. Yeah. I know United have, you know, mental health coaches, psychologists, you know, nutritionists, all that stuff. And you have to see them, like, once a month or once every 2 weeks or something. But with the state stuff, kinda, they do, like, workshops and stuff like that, but they're not really focused on it. But, like, I guess that's the separation between, you know, the good and the great and the good. Like, you know, if the really good people want to do it, they'll do it. If the other people don't, they won't do it.
Yeah, that makes sense. And what do you think is something that moving forward for, like, the next generation, what's one thing that basketball in Australia can change or adapt to help the next generation, bro? I know you spoke about the different styles of play. You spoke about highlight culture. You spoke about a whole different things. Or is it having a more focus on the mental health?
That's a good question. I'd say it's more about, you know, kind of getting more of a competitive edge in Australia. Like, for example, if I take rep games, for example, and I compare that to how that prepared me for the World Cup, it didn't prepare me at all. It made me worse.
In what sense? Talk about it.
The pace of the game, just the way the game felt, the defense, just everything, man. It was just shit. Like, I didn't enjoy rep my last year. I just wanted to play NBL and NBL 1 Youth League because, it's more fun. It's fast paced. So I just think, getting kind of trying to make rep more, I'd say shorter because it's a long season.
Bro, it's 10 months, like 9 months.
It's fucked, man. Shorter and just more competitive.
Do you think that guys just don't go hard enough because they don't have to, or they just lack that competitive edge? Like, what is it? Like, why aren't guys?
I think it's a bit of both. I think, you'll find some people with a serious competitive edge. Like, there's a guy at United called Carl Bowen. It's the most competitive motherfucker I've ever seen. Like, he's a beast. He's an animal. And, like, you just don't see that often. Like, you'll see one or two, but in rep, you just see people that are lazy.
Yeah.
And the standard is just not very good. Yeah.
Do you think the sport is soft here, bro?
I wouldn't say soft. We're Aussies. We're not soft.
Yeah, no. Like, we have a good reputation in the States. Like, we're
not soft. It's just competitive and being hard are two different things. Competitive is, the drive to win. Like, you hate losing. Like, I hate losing. I don't lose a lot. I hate losing. If I lose, fuck. Don't talk to me. But hard is just, bashing bodies, going hard, football, stuff like that.
For sure.
That's an interesting distinction between the two, and I definitely think that's something that the next generation can improve on and struggle with. But I also think sometimes it may come down to just like whether or not it's the love for the game is really there.
Yeah, man. It all comes back to the love of the game.
It does. Like, some of these kids just play because their brother plays, their sister plays, and they're a bit athletic and they're kind of good, so they play rep. Like, it's a fallback. It's not, oh, I love this so much, I'm going to play rep for the next progression in mind. They don't think like that.
Yeah.
So I think it's just about the kids that love it. But as you get older, bro, those kind of weed out, and now you're left with the best of the best, bro, competing on the world stage.
Yeah, man. People start to fade away. Like, there was kids in, under 12s, 14s that were way better than me.
Yeah.
Like, they were freaks, man, because they were bigger and stronger.
Yep.
They just thought that they could get through with that. And that, it's sad to see, man.
It's not the case.
Sad to see because they had so much talent. They just didn't use it.
Yep.
And the thing is, like, with rep, like, what does that mean to, I guess, you guys? Because from what I understand, representative, you think, there's quite a goal there, a goal in mind, you want to achieve the best. But from what I can sort of see, this might sound a bit whatever, but, like, it seems to be that almost anyone can make a team.
Low key.
That's what I'm saying.
Depending on the club. Like, and it's good because you have a soccer background. Like, obviously, I've been around the sport my whole life. Like, some clubs have got, like, 16 1s, 2s, 3s, 4s, 5s, 6s, 7s, 8s.
Crazy.
So it takes away from the representative element a little bit. What do you think about that?
Yeah, a little bit. Like, I coach a Hawthorn Magic. Like, I coach 12 7s.
Yeah.
And they're young, man. Like, but the thing with, teams is they're kind of, Australia's kind of doing this thing, or everyone's doing it, where they pick on potential.
Yes.
And, it sucks. I don't like it.
Yes, bro.
Like, they pick, a kid that's big, like really big, but can't.
He's not good, but they're like, oh, his dad's 7 foot. We'll pick him now in a few years. He'll be nice.
He can't catch, dribble, or he can't even see the ball.
Yeah, bro.
And it's just like, well, what about the kid that's worked his ass off? And, it frustrates me, because I was one of those kids. For example, the COE, they take, the athletic dudes where, I played really well throughout nationals, did my thing, was like top 3 in the country, and they just pick kids based on potential.
Nuts.
Yeah, man, it's frustrating, but, it's part of basketball.
I think that's something that definitely needs to change. And, like, I've had a lot of conversation, a lot of my mates are in kind of like the state, the coach for state and Big V, and also basketball Victoria and things like that. And it's a conversation they always have is like, yeah, little Johnny isn't good now, but he will be, so we'll pick him.
Yeah.
Whereas Sam's busted his ass off, but his dad's not tall enough, so it's crazy.
I think it's all right as they're younger. Like,
yeah, depending on the age, like 12s, 14s, but like
if they're like 16, 17,
yeah, it's nuts.
You've kind of missed your window.
Yeah,
like it's that 14 to 17. That's where you kind of flip the switch.
Yeah.
So like, in saying that, do you think that, like, say they're gonna pick a kid who's 13, 14, no good, but his dad's tall and this and that. Do you think that in Australia and in Victoria particularly, coaches and the organisation have the ability to develop a player? Or do you think that's all based on the person? Like you, for example. Did you develop yourself? Obviously, you had those influential coaches, but is that more so on the player?
Oh, I was kind of responsible for my own development. I'd hit up those coaches I talked about and I'd be like, all right, you want to come work out? Or, I'd text Dad to go text them. But like they pick the dude and then they don't really spend any one-on-one time with him.
Yeah.
Which is it's pretty sad, man.
Yeah.
Like, they could be really good. Like they could be freakishly good.
And then they get to a point and then they might hit 17, 18 and then they're binned.
Yeah, then they haven't learned the basics.
It's cutthroat as the older you get, bro, and things get more competitive, bro. I want to ask you, obviously playing so much talent, bro, who's been the toughest player you had to play against?
AJ Debanso and the Boozer twins.
The Boozer twins got it nuts, bro.
I got dunked on by one of the Boozer twins. So
that's kind of nuts, bro.
Him, AJ, and there was I could probably say the whole USA team.
That's a good pick, isn't it? Yeah.
Like Koa Pete, he's big, man. But there was a little Egyptian dude that was low key tough. Like we played him in the first game of the World Cup, and we were up by like 20, and we let it come back down to like 3 at one stage. Damn. And this little motherfucker was dribbling around everyone, shooting bullshit, going in. Then he got hurt, and I was like, "Oh, sweet,
we're good now."
I was like, "We good,
we're good." Damn.
Yeah.
And then besides yourself, who do you think is the best player in the country at your kind of age?
I'd say it's either Dash Daniels, Didi, or there's a tall kid from Canberra. His name's Jack.
Okay.
He's like a big 6'10" Sudanese dude. He's learning how his shooting's almost come together, man. If he starts to shoot the ball well, we're in trouble.
You're in trouble.
You're in trouble, man.
Damn, and Dash doing. Obviously, Dyson's doing his things. You think Dash can lead up to the footsteps set for him?
Yeah, I think he can. Man, he's good, bro. He's solid guard. He can defend really well. He's athletic as.
Yeah.
If you can just get his shooting on point, man, he'll be tough.
That's all it takes, bro. And I know all of you guys are putting in the work, putting your head down, man. But it's that time in the episode where we like to take a moment of gratitude, bro, and just talk about one thing you were reflectful for, what you were grateful for in the last week, or because it's been so early in the year, bro. I'll give you the month, man. What's one thing that you can really reflect on and be like, yeah, I'm really grateful for this in the past.
I'm grateful I didn't have to have surgery, man. That's my big thing. I'm grateful I didn't have to have surgery, because that would have been tough. It would have been a tough road. Yeah, that's probably my one.
I like that. What about you, Ealef?
Grateful for this year. Working here in the studio with my brother, bro. It's been heaps of fun. It was, since I started, it was just myself, but now I got my brother in here. See, he's just taking his time with it. See how he goes with it.
Yeah, shout out Connor for this, bro. Because it wasn't for Connor, we wouldn't have got Harry, and it all wouldn't have happened, bro. So it all worked out perfectly, bro.
What about you, bro?
For me, man, I would probably say I'm most grateful for just like my commitment to self-development this year and making the right steps to kind of unpack a lot of things mentally and just going through that journey of self-discovery a little bit.
Definitely.
100%, man.
Cool, man.
Harry, we really appreciate you, my man. I think we've learned heaps about you today, and I think you probably learned a little bit more about yourself as well.
Yeah, definitely did.
We really appreciate you having you on in the cut from the chair
to the community. Yes, sir. Thank you, bro.
Thanks for having me, boys.
Appreciate it, man. She was tough.
Thank you very much, my man.
Oh, man.